Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi, and back to the lesson plan module in the series of lesson planning. Today I'm going to talk to you about the lesson plan template. That is module number 2 in this series. What exactly is the template? What do we uh, why do we write a lesson plan, and what are the different uh, headings or different criterias which we really need to look into whenever we are writing a plan. Last class we discussed about the planning part, why we need to plan, and what are the different strategies we had discussed. Under the different strategies, I had told you the importance of planning. So now let us see what is the pattern, or what is a lesson plan template which we need to follow, and why do we need a lesson plan. On your screen you have a lesson plan format. Now there is no standardized lesson plan format which we say that only this is a format which we need to follow. Planning is important, and everybody has got their own method of planning, everybody has got their own system, everybody has got their own timeline in writing a lesson plan. So on the screen, if you see, the top box has got 4 headings, which is subject, class, duration and chapter, which is predefined and which I don't have to really explain. Subject is what subject you are teaching. If you're an English teacher, you write English there. If you are teaching PP2, that is if you are teaching UKG class preparatory 2, then you write preparatory 2. Duration is what is the duration of your class? Is it 40 minutes? Because some schools are 40 minutes, some of them have 45 minutes, some of them have 50 minutes also. Now it is up to the school management and the principal to decide what should be the duration of each session for a particular subject. So the standard duration across the globe, if you see, it is a 40-minute session. And what chapter are you teaching? If you are teaching domestic animals, you write domestic animals. If you are teaching plant life, you write plant life. If you are teaching number names, you write number names. These are the 4 headings which are general common headings which everybody needs to write into. Now, before I move on to the learning objective, let me tell you why do we need this template to be written. I told you the importance of planning in the previous class. Now the importance of this plan. This can be written on a paper, this can also be written in a notebook. I would recommend you to write this in a notebook because a notebook is always handy and it is available, and you don't have a fear of losing it anytime. Paper, if you have, a paper may get misplaced. How many papers would you try to, every time you write it on a paper, and you need to make sure that the paper is safely kept. Because once you write a plan, you can reuse this plan again in another class, or you can use this plan for the next year. Writing becomes important, but the plan remains the same. You may copy over again into the notebook, because some schools insist that the plan has to be rewritten every year, and most of the schools say, okay, if you already have a plan, you don't rewrite it again, you just see any changes are there, you change only those changes. For example, the examples which you use might change. You might have got a new idea. So if you've got a new idea, and then your plan definitely changes. And every year it has to be an improvement. As a teacher, we are growing, we are learning, so automatically the methodology may change, the examples may change, the homework may change, the classwork methodology might change. It has to be changed. You may get a new resource which the school had not bought it last year. You were teaching vegetables, you were teaching domestic animals. The school didn't had models of domestic animals and vegetables last year. This year, the school has procured this material, so you may need to add that in the lesson plan. So only in that case it changes. So when you write the lesson plan and when you walk into the classroom, it's very, very important for a teacher to walk into the classroom with a lesson plan notebook. Now it's a different story whether you close the book, lesson plan book, put it in front of you on your desk and then start teaching. It's not necessary that you keep it open and then teach, because you know what you have written, and if you remember it, it's fine. But the book needs to be on the desk in front of you, because by any chance if you forget, right, then we need to look into the lesson plan and then teach. Dear teachers, let me tell you one thing. If you're looking into the notebook or the plan book which you're writing, which you have written already, there's no harm. Don't have an ego problem that children are observing me. In front of the children, if I open the book and teach, what is going to happen? Absolutely fine, because I would recommend you to teach perfectly without any mistakes rather than closing the book and then teaching wrong things to the children. So keep the lesson plan book open. Only if you need, you can just peep in and then have a glance, and then wherever you forget, because we tend to forget. We are human beings. We had written the lesson plan last week. We submitted it to the principal. The principal checked it and gave it back to you. But today when you walked into the class in the morning, you might have had a bad morning. Or when you walk into the classroom, you would have seen the classroom is in a mess. You would have got angry, and in the stress, there are chances that a human being tends to forget what he had already planned. So when you open the book, suddenly you forget what is there in the plan, and then you open the book and then read it once. It might take 2 minutes because you already written it, you know what is written in that. A 2-minute glance will clearly explain you, you will get refreshed of what you have written, and then you close the book and then start teaching. So with the plan in the classroom, it has to be like this. The teacher walks into the classroom with a lesson plan book. It can be you can type it and you can take a printout of the lesson plan. You can write it in a notebook. You can write it on a piece of paper, A4 size paper. Put it in, you file it in a file and then take the file along with you. But you will walk into the classroom only with the lesson plan. The traditional method is still valid. You might have an online class, you might be teaching digitally, but still you need a plan. Coming to the learning objective. What is learning objective? Learning objective is what is that your children are going to learn at the end of 40 minutes from this class. For example, what is that you want to teach when you are teaching domestic animals? Why are you teaching that, and what do you want the children to learn? The first lesson plan, the first learning objective would be, I am giving you an example. The learning objective can be, you want the children to learn, understand the different types of animals which can be kept at home. The second learning objective can be, how do this animal look like? The third learning objective can be, where do these animals live? Or what kind of sounds do these domestic animals make? So 3 learning objectives. Learning objective, end of the class, what is that you're going to achieve? I want my children to know the difference between a dog and a cat. I want my children to know how a dog looks. I want my children to know, if I make a barking sound, the child should stand up and say, ma'am, this is how a dog barks. If I show a picture of plant, and if I ask a question, which animal eats the leaves of a plant, then the child should be able to say, ma'am, the goat eats the leaves. The buffalo eats the leaves. If I show a bone and ask the children, which animal eats this bone, or a mutton piece, or a chicken piece, then the children would say the dog and the cat. So they are able to differentiate between the different kind of foods what the domestic animals eat. If you are teaching weather, the children should be able to make out if it is too warm inside the class. Ma'am, today it's very warm, the sun is hot. If it is raining, the children would say it is raining. If it is cold, the children would say it is a winter season. They are able to differentiate between the different seasons. That is a learning objective. Coming to the methodology, introduction. How do you introduce the domestic animals? How do you introduce it? Do you straight away start teaching there are the different kind of domestic animals are dog, cat, sheep, goat, cow? Or you would introduce this in a different way? What is a different methodology you would adapt? The best methodology which every teacher adapts is asking questions. What kind of animals do you have at home? What kind of animals do you see in your neighborhood? If your neighbor is having an animal, what is the animal that the neighbor has got? What is the animal? When my neighbor has got a cow. My neighbor has got a cow. My uncle has got a cat, man. So the children are answering your questions. You are leading the children to a topic. Remember, you will not write the topic name on the board. You will lead the children to the topic name through questioning, probably showing them pictures. Okay, today what is the topic which we are going to talk about? We are going to talk about animals. What are the animals you have at home? Can we have a tiger at home? No. Can we have an elephant at home? No. Have you seen somebody having a giraffe at home? Have you seen somebody having a dog at home? Yes, ma'am. I have a dog at home. So you are making the children answer. You are making the children understand the topic what you are going to teach today. So finally you would say today we are going to talk about animals, and in animals we are going to talk about domestic animals. And what is the meaning for domestic? Those animals which are kept at home. So introduction. How do you introduce the topic? You're going to write it there. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to show pictures. I'm going to show a video. Children, what is the video did we see? Ma'am, we saw a video of animals. We saw a dog barking, a dog playing with a puppy, and a cat was jumping and was climbing a tree, was climbing a house. I saw. Then we saw a cow in the field. The farmer was using a cow, the buffalo. So the children see the video. Okay, now we have seen the different kinds of animals. So after you show the video, then you discuss the topic and then you write the topic name. That is introduction. Then methodology. How do you teach them the methodology? I mean, what methodology do you adapt? I would show them a video of domestic animals. I would play an audio clip of how animals make sound. I will show them the animals along with their small babies. A dog, a baby of a dog is called a puppy. A baby of a cow is called a calf. A baby of a cat is called kitten. So we show them pictures, flashcards. So I would prepare a flashcard and show them the pictures of the different animals and then ask them questions. And then I'm going to explain each and every animal in the class. I would show them a video. Then you will put the video link there. Why do I suggest you to put the link there? Because when you are in the class, you don't have to search for the link. You already have a mobile phone, and through your mobile phone, you are transmitting it onto a screen, a bigger screen. Nowadays, the telephone, using a mobile, you can transmit the entire video onto your TV. The technology is changed. How easy it is to teach, see? I remember when I started teaching, we used to make flashcards for everything. There was no video, there were no videos, there was no TV at home. We had a projector. The projector also was not IT based projector. It was an overhead projector where we had a plastic sheet, and on the plastic sheet we had to write down and draw the diagrams. And when we used to keep that plastic sheet and then the light, we switch it on because the light, the impact of the light used to create a duplicate on the screen. An overhead projector is what we called it, which had to be written by hand. Today you don't have to do anything. Just 1 second, you just go to Google, you just go to YouTube and type domestic animal video. You will get hundreds of videos. You just have to select which video you want. Keep it there on your screen, ready. The minute you walk into the class, okay, let me show you a video, children. Let us enjoy a class with a video. You play the video. So you have everything ready and you mention it here. You don't have to struggle. Next year, you don't have to again search for the same video. Now in this, you have on the right hand side, you have 3 other headings which is called vocabulary, resources and classwork. What are the new words which you're going to learn? Remember children, the more you build the vocabulary, the children, remember teachers, the more you build the vocabulary bag, the more you add vocabulary words into the child's bag, the better he speaks English or any language, even if it is Hindi or Urdu. If the child is getting more words every day, you need to make sure that a child learns at least one word every day with the meaning of that word. One English, one Hindi and one Urdu or one Kannada or one Telugu or one Tamil or one Punjabi or one Bengali word. One word a day. Today's word. What is today's word? Resource. Future is today's word. What is the meaning of future? Tomorrow. The next few days. The meaning of that, and frame a sentence. I plan to buy a big Mercedes-Benz in future. The future is going to change with the technology coming in. So sentences are formed. Vocabulary. Whatever vocabulary words, the new words which you are getting from the lesson, they have to be written here and they have to be written on the board also. The very first thing which you need to do is you need to add your vocabulary. You need to put those vocabulary. And if possible, make sure that you prepare a chart of the vocabulary words or all the new words and paste it in your classroom and let it be there for some time because the children would see that and learn. Resources. What resources do we use? I need flashcards of animals. I need a video of domestic animals. I need an audio clip of domestic animals sounds. What is that you're going to write in classwork? What classwork are you going to give? You're going to tell the children the different words: dog, cat, puppy, cow, buffalo, sheep, hen, and all these words are written in the classwork. So you write those words. Then when you're teaching, you will not miss a word because it is there already in the book. So if you have 10 words, when you walk into the classroom without a lesson plan, there are chances that you may forget one word. But if you write 9 words, then suddenly you will, I had written 10, I am not getting the 10th one. Let me open the book. Okay, I forgot to write calf. C-A-L-F. You write the word calf at the bottom. 10 words are there. So if it is there on the lesson plan, it's easy for you to teach because you will not forget and you will not miss out what you had planned to teach for that day. So introduction, you write the methodology, vocabulary, resources and the classwork. Now at the end, so you start a class. In the introduction part, let me add, you can also add a story related to domestic animals. You add a story related to domestic animals. Any interesting story? A farmer had a donkey. Donkey is also considered as a domestic animal. So you pick a story of the farmer and the donkey. You pick a story of a farmer and the three different animals which he had at home. So the different stories, you tell a story and then you start a lesson. You add, make sure that, especially for the foundation years, I would recommend that you add a story for every class you teach. And don't tell me you will not get a story for every class. You will definitely get a story for every class. There are so many stories in the history. There are so many stories in Panchatantra. There are so many stories in Arabian Nights. There are so many stories from Mahabharata. There are so many stories from Islamic history. You have to pick up the right story and share the story which is related with the topic and then teach. It's not difficult. Even in the teaching methodology, you can write, this is a story which I am going to use. You write the entire story there and leave it there. Or you can write on a piece of paper and you attach it to the lesson plan. You have a story on YouTube, pick up that story and show them to the children. I'm going to share a story along with this class. I'll send you the link of the story which I had recorded with this class. Summation. Last 5 minutes you need to summarize. Today children, what did we discuss? Ask. Okay. Abdul, get up and answer, what did we discuss? Asha, get up and tell me what is that we discussed. What are the new words did we learn? Can you tell me one new word, Satish? Can you tell me one new word, Alina? Can you tell me one new word, Khalid? Can you tell me can you tell me what is the story? Can you repeat the story what I told you? Who was the hero? Which was the domestic animal what was the domestic animal in the story which I told you? Can you please tell me? So you ask Rubina to stand up and tell. So that is summation. Then, moral value. Now the story which I am sharing with you is connected with domestic animals. And what is the moral value which you learn from that story? There is a story of a farmer, a wife, a rat, a hen, a goat and a cow. The story is very simple. I'll just brief it, you'll see the whole story. The farmer gets a rat trap. He wants to get rid of the rat which is in the house. So he gets a rat trap. The rat sees it and keeps running. He's got friends at home. The hen is a friend, the cow is a friend, the sheep is a friend. So the rat runs to the hen and says, I've just seen a rat trap at home. We have to do something. The hen says, the rat trap is for you, for the rat, it's not for me, so why should I bother? The same answer is given by the cow, the same answer is given by the sheep. The rat is upset. He feels sad about it because nobody is supporting. Everybody says it is your problem. Please go find a solution for your problem. That is not our problem. Why do we have to find a solution for it? Or why do we have to help you to find a solution for it? Because the rat trap is not going to help. Rat trap is not going to harm me. Finally, in the night, when everybody is sleeping, the rat hears a sound, a loud bang sound. Somebody screaming. So the rat comes out of its hole and looks into the hall. The farmer's wife's leg, the feet, has got trapped. Is near the trap and she's screaming. What has happened? In the trap, mouse trap, a snake has got stuck. And when she realizes that the mouse has fallen into the trap, she comes to see that and the snake bites the lady. That is why she screams. The farmer rushes her to the hospital. The doctor says, you need to be very careful, take care of her, you need to give her a good protein diet. What does the farmer do? The farmer hatches the hen. I mean, the hen is cooked and the soup is served. The hen is gone. Relatives come to see the farmer's wife. So what does the farmer do? The farmer sacrifices a goat and feeds the relatives with the goat meat. Finally, the farmer wife dies. To celebrate, normally they have a program, they have a function, or when she is dead, everybody comes to feed them. The farmer sacrifices the cow. So all the three animals are gone. They were not connected with the mousetrap, but they finally were sacrificed. The mouse is safe. The mouse was actually worried, the other three were not worried. So what is the moral? If I ask you to write a moral with a connected story in today's situation, what is the moral do you write? The neighbor has got corona, why should I bother about it? I would walk around I would go to parties, I would go to the weekend parties, I would go to the functions, I would attend a wedding, I would walk around the street without a mask. I would not wash my hands and sanitize myself. I would not be careful and alert. I would not get vaccinated. Because corona has not come to my house, corona has come to the neighbor's house. There's no rule, there's no guarantee that you would be safe. We need to make sure that if there is some harm, something bad happening in the society, my child is not taking drugs, so why should I fight against drugs? I am not drinking alcohol, so why should I fight against alcoholism? My daughter is safe at home, why should I bother if some other's daughter is facing a problem in the society? Tomorrow that guy who was creating a problem for your neighbor's girl might come to your place and start creating a problem to your daughter tomorrow. So the moral here, what we learn from the story is, if there is a problem, we need to be collectively united to fight for the problem, because the problem may spread to my house also. Unity is important. So moral value we write. Teacher summary, you write the summary of what all you did in the class. I introduced the topic like this, I used this methodology, I used a YouTube video. What concept did you teach? The next point is very important. Teacher's reflection. What is reflection? At the end of the day, we always reflect, I had a very bad fight today and I abused somebody. I am not feeling good about it. It all happens at times. Kabhi hota hai. The child was making noise in the class. He was so mischievous. You slapped him. And when you go back home, you feel, I should not have slapped the boy. I did a mistake. We all realize it. That is reflection. So when you go back home, I should not have screamed at this person. So in the class, what all mistakes did I do? I missed out. There was a spelling mistake on the board. My handwriting was bad. The methodology which I adapted, the children were not able to understand. So I should change my methodology tomorrow in the class again. That reflection has to be written. This reflection part, remember the reflection part is written at the end of 40 minutes. It is not written before you start, when you write the lesson plan. You write the entire lesson plan, you only don't write the last three parts. Last three criteria. One is teacher's reflection, whether you have achieved the learning outcome. When do you achieve the outcome? When all your 24 children in the class are able to understand and answer your queries. If they are able to differentiate between domestic animals, if they are able to differentiate between the sounds the animals make, if they are able to differentiate between the babies of the animals and tell, ma'am, this is a calf and this calf, this calf is given birth. The cow gives birth to a calf. That is the learning outcome achieved. Then observations. What are the observations? What all did you notice when you are teaching in the class? All this is your lesson plan. This can be written in any format. You need to write a lesson plan for a particular topic and then you send this assignment to me. You'll have to use the headings. You can write it in a notebook. You can type it on a piece of paper. Type it and take a printout and then send it to me. You can type it in MS Word document and attach the document to me. But these are the headings which are required, which needs to be there. Complete lesson plan has to be written. Teacher's reflection, you write it as if you have completed the class and what observation you have done. Or if you are already teaching in the school now, you write a lesson plan and you can send me the lesson plan at the end of 10 days. So the deadline for you to submit your lesson plan would be 28th August. Because you write a lesson plan in the next 2 days and then you teach in the classroom with this lesson plan and then you write your reflections, you write your learning outcomes achieved, you write your observations record and then you send me the lesson plan. So your deadline to submit the lesson plan is 28th August. Lesson plan of 40 minutes on any given topic you teach. You can write, I have given you example of domestic animals, you can write on number names, you can write on alphabets, you can write it on rhyme, you can write on addition, you can write on subtraction. Teach in the classroom with the plan. Complete the reflection. Complete the objectives achieved and your observations in the class and send it to me by 28th August. I hope I am very clear with the lesson, with the assignment. Lesson plan has to be written on any topic which you are teaching for any class which you teach and then submit it.